What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to be doing a proper takeover for Tony here. He reached out to me and he's looking for a team that can get him to Sand Devil 25 and then to farm Sand Devil 25, as well as get to Fire Knight Hard 10 and have a farming team. So that's the challenge here for me today. He has a pretty stacked account in terms of champions. He is pretty progressed as well. I believe he started his account in 2021. Yes, 2021 here. So it's at least 3 years old probably. I checked out his Grey Hall. His Grey Hall is pretty stacked up. So he's definitely put in a lot of work into this account. He hasn't, not the most, frugal shard saver, and then definitely low on the gems. Huge energy cap here. So he's basically set up for at least a couple events, so he doesn't have to worry too much about the gems. But if he so chooses, a fusion would be no problem for him. Checking out his box here real quick, he obviously has a ton of champions to work with, so definitely a team is possible. So I'm going to work on that for him and see if I can get him where he needs to be. So currently his Sand Devil progress, he's stuck on 18 and it looks like it's kind of going downhill here. He's stuck on 18, he's looking for 25, and he's looking for a farmable team. Same thing with Hard Fire Knight. He's getting really stuck around 6, 7, and 8, so he's looking for 9 and Hard 10. Like I said, he has the champions, but whether he has the gear or not to make it work, I'm not too sure. I think he does, but we'll try to make it work here in this video, so stay tuned for all of that. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to make a slow Godseeker and Eerie plus a Newt, and then we can basically climb Sand Devil up to 25 and we'll make a stronger team for 25. He does have 2 Newts. So he has 2 Newts, so we can go for the double Newt comp. And I did see a Sifi in his box as well. So he does have a Sifi as well. So like I said, his box is very strong. He has lots of champions. But maybe he lacks the time to put everything together, or he lacks the gear overall. I see his Sifi here just under 350 speed with protection. So maybe he also doesn't have the fastest speeds around to do Fire Knight Hard 10 as well. I did see a Kymar as well lurking in his box, so we can definitely use Kymar for a reset team for Fire Knight Hard 10. But first, I'm going to tackle the Godseeker team first so that we can climb safely to 25, and then we'll remake a 25 team first. Also a bit of trouble since we don't have the gems available to us. We can't reset masteries or change anything too drastic. So we are a little bit handcuffed here in what we can do with the Godseeker. Usually with the Godseeker, I would go for the Spirit Haste, which makes gearing a little bit easier because you can save 24 speed on the build and farm food along the way. But without Spirit Haste, we have to make up for the speed in the gear. So just a little thing to pay attention to. So we do have a little bit of a disadvantage here with the lack of gems. Further handicapping our ability to build the teams is that he said we can't use the Clan Boss team, the Dragon team, or the Spider team. So Clan Boss team here, that's his team. Double Man-Eater, Dracomorph, Seeker, and Painkeeper. So we can't use those champions gear, and we can't use the Dragon and Spider team. So let's check out the Spider team. 29-second Spider team. Explode with Hex. I don't think you need Mithrala in this team at all. I think you just go HP burn, detonate, and then maybe two newts. 2 newts could probably do it. He just needs to get them going here. 2 newts, and then you have a team that basically goes twice as fast. Because right now his best is 29 seconds. So yeah, I would keep the team, but sub Mithrala for a second newt probably. After I said keep his Dragon team, a minute 18. Seer team gets to the boss using Helior. I mean, you can probably improve this as well. Does he have a Stultus? He does have a Stultus. What is the Stultus doing? Stultus could replace Helior easily. Thor is kind of not doing anything here, I think, because you don't need Thor to clear waves with Seer in the team already. And Stultus basically can solo the boss in regen gear. I don't know. I don't think it's a make or break breaking those teams, but those are restrictions placed on me, so I will do my best around them. Unfortunately, to make the Godseeker team work, I do have to take gear off of Theodore, which is part of both of those teams. He does have a preset set for Theodore, so he can basically just replace the gear back easily after Godseeker's done. So I'm not too worried about taking gear off Theodore right now. So we'll do that to gear up the Godseeker. And yeah. And I can't build the Godseeker because his box is full. So I'm going to do a very rough gear cleanse on this guy's account. So obviously bottom row and then go for the flat stats. And he has 131 of these pieces. It's unreal why he would keep these pieces. Why did he keep this piece? I'm going to move my head. Why do you keep this piece here? Double crit rate. Why keep this piece? Why keep this boot? So I need at least a little bit of space here. I mean, yeah, I need at least a little bit of space. Like these guys, flat stat boots, definitely a no-no. Flat stat glove. Yeah, these are definitely no-nos. I mean, like you could argue speed. You could keep speed, try to roll for it. You could argue, you know, roll a triple and or it, you know, on a set like that. But, you know, perception set, there's really no point in trying to or these boots into something usable. Lethal set, same thing. You can or it. You can or these. You can or these. So, I mean, sure, you can keep them for those purposes, but some of the more common sets, you definitely should just get rid of them unless they roll really, really good. So I'm going to make 9 space here just so I can move some gear around. So, equipped. Still, oh, I guess accessories are full now. No, accessories are not full. 9 pieces? It should go, I think. Still full. All right, I guess the gear cleanse will have to be a little bit more pieces. I mean, that's a nothing piece. I mean, anything that's 16, I'm going to save it for him. That's a nothing piece. You're not going to re-roll a glove, 5-star glove, are you? Zeal, you might need that for a mission. Yeah, speed on it at least. All right, let's make 4 more spots. Okay, let's try again. Okay, here we go. Do you want to use the activation of free hour? Yes, let's do it. This is the time. All right. Godseeker, done. All right, Godseeker, 204 speed. As much defense as you can get, around 5,000 and around 80,000 HP. Should cover all the difficulties. 5-star blessing here makes it a lot easier to gear her up. No TM stuff, no refresh stuff. The lack of healing masteries will make it a little bit, maybe a little bit harder, but he does have War Master for some additional speed on that. Kill speed for the boss. We'll pair her up with Newt. He has 2 Newts. One of them is better than the other one. Both of them are not ready for battle. You want at least 232 speed for this build to work. So these Newts are too slow. Too slow and not strong enough. So you gotta get this guy out of Relentless. So I saw that he was using this main one with the 3-star here. So I would use the second one here. Mastery's not done. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I guess he can live without it. All right, let's see what we can do. So what I'm doing here is basically searching for the Newt build with maximum crit damage to prioritize his A3 max HP slam. I also want him to have at least 300-ish accuracy so that he's actually useful in Fire Knight Hard 10. And I want him to have at least 260 speed so that he can be speed tuned with other champions part of that Fire Knight Hard 10 team. So I'm already thinking ahead to Fire Knight Hard 10 because I want both of the Newts in that team. And ideally, Newt would be at least around 260 speed, at least. I'm also thinking ahead for the final Sand Devil 25 team, which would ideally have both Newts, and they need to be at least about 260 speed so that that team can really, really work. And you definitely don't need anything like Relentless or anything. So it's just taking the gear off of a lot of champions here. It's going to break up a lot of his champions. So I'm going to see if there's something maybe a little bit more friendly for breaking up too many champions. Okay, I think we're going to roll with this one. None of these champions are really part of his main squad. And this build doesn't require any kind of upgrade or anything. So no glyphs, no any further investment. I think this will work. Again, we don't have any room to move things around, so we're going to look for more stuff to delete. Let's have a quick look here. Looking for 5-star stuff to delete. Looks like his rolled up stuff is a little bit more better, I think. Some of his like level 16 stuff. I'm gonna have to get rid of like some of this stuff. Like this is a nothing piece. This one, I guess you could use an ore on it if you want to use lifesteal. This piece, I mean, it does have 9 speed, but it's kind of a nothing. This one doesn't even have speed on it. It's triple HP. I guess you can ore it. It's flat attack. It's just, this is a nothing piece. I mean, this is a nothing piece. These are not usable pieces. It's not usable. This one, I guess you can ore it. Like, I'm just being very generous with the oring possibilities, like this Savage Glove. This one you can ore, I guess. This one, you don't want flat stats on the bottom. Like, you definitely don't want flat stats on the bottom. But I'm going to respect some of these items just because you did 16 them. So I don't want to get rid of too many of them, even though to me they're obviously, very obviously instant deletes. Like, I'm going to get rid of that. All right, let's see how we go with 7 pieces. I'm going to move all these pieces now. Equipped. All right, now this newt is ready to go. I'm going to heart him just because he doesn't have full mastery, so he's not going to hit as hard as he can. But let's see if it works in the Sand Devil. Keep in mind, this is to climb from 18 to 25, and then we're going to change the build entirely to something that's going to be much faster than Godseeker and Newt. Even though Godseeker and Newt can do it in about 90 seconds, he has the capability or the roster on his account to do it in about 15 seconds. So we'll try to make a team for 15 seconds. But first we have to climb all these stages first. Like, I see he has something like this set up. This is what I have in mind for his level 25 team. But he's trying to use it on 18 with newts that are under 200 speed. So it's not going to work, right? Like, you know, this works when you watch like somebody use it on YouTube, but this is not going to work in practice based on the stats that he has. But for now, let's climb to 25 and then we'll remake this team. All right, so Godseeker in the lead, guys. Every time somebody messes this up all the time. This team can actually farm 3 food, but because he doesn't have... actually, it can farm 3 food. Yeah, it can farm 3 food if he wants. We can try that. All right, let's give it a go. We have to manual this, most likely. Let's see if we have to manual this. I think we might have to. Comes back, slam again. Use A2. Slam. We don't want to use the counterattack because the counterattack kind of slows down the run a little bit. We just manual it just for the first little bit. It might actually work full auto. I never used this team to particularly climb, but it should work. Honestly, it comes down to the timing of the revive. So let's see if this would work if it was full auto here. Would the revive come back in time? Let's see. Nope. So it actually does work perfectly on full auto, actually. Yeah, it would work full auto perfectly. Yeah. Pretty good. All right. 18 done. So we're going to do this for all the stages going up to 25. And yeah, we'll rebuild a 25 team at that point. So let's get to it. Almost done. All right. Yep, I think, yeah, it worked perfectly. It worked perfectly, actually. Awesome. All right. New record, too. And food. All right, 19. Okay, well, I won't bore you guys with the climb, so I'll re-record when we get to 25. All right, guys, we made it all the way from 18 to 24, full auto. It's a roughly 90 to 100 second run. No presets or anything so far. Usually you require a little bit of presets. Obviously, when you put in the food and stuff, can mess stuff up. But for this team, we literally put no presets. I think what worked out in terms of the speed of the runs is that the newt is actually fairly weak. So during the AoEs, the newt actually just dies, which is good because the newt doesn't get a chance to use the A2 and counterattack and basically waste time. So it keeps the runs very, very quick. Godseeker with the Miracle Heal definitely is nice. It keeps her, you know, relatively safe with no max HP destroyed. You don't need the Miracle Heal here. She can be fully booked as well ever since they nerfed the Sand Devil. I did a lot of work with the Godseeker after the nerf on the Sand Devil. And this build I know works 100% of the time for this kind of strategy. Like I said, you can farm food. You can offset some of her stat requirements by having a Spirit Haste on her masteries. and running food with her. But yeah, I'll show you guys the run so far. So we went from 18, so 18, we did manual this just in case, but I realized that it was working perfectly fine without manual, so I just let it go full auto. So minute 50, 247, I don't know what happened. Oh, this is a weak affinity, that's why it took a little bit longer. Minute 42, minute 36, and I have no doubt it will work on 25 here. So let's run it for 25. This is not going to be the end team for Tony here, but it is an option for you, Tony, if you want to keep this team and farm food with it in the future. Food farming teams for Sand Devil aren't super good because Sand Devil tournaments are always turn attack. So maybe if you're farming Sand Devil versus for CVC or something and you don't care about speed, then farming some extra food might be worthwhile for you. But otherwise, you're probably going to look for a better team than Godseeker Newt here, which I'll build you right after this run, just to show you proof of concept. And also for the viewers here that are interested in this team, I'll show you guys the stats before I break apart the Godseeker, because the Godseeker is just temporary here, because the Godseeker is using the Theodore gear that Tony didn't want me to touch. So I will be re-gearing back the Theodore. We can see here it works perfectly good. The Godseeker is strong enough to take the double pokes from the Sand Devil and survive. This is called like the slow Sand Devil, like slow Godseeker Sand Devil setup. So she doesn't run super fast, but she has to be more tanky because of that, because she takes 2 pokes from the Sand Devil before recovering. So you can see here 2 pokes before she takes a turn and recover. But this build is basically 100%, even with bad RNG with the speed downs and all that stuff. It's 100%. The DPS can basically be very flexible, but the DPS needs to be at least 232 speed. This Newt right now is 255 speed without the boots rolled up. I will be rolling up the boots, ascending the boots, sorry, so that he will be speed tuned in the Fire Knight Hard 10 team and the Sand Devil 25 team. But you can use many DPS to go with the Godseeker here. You can use any HP burn champion. Newt is the fastest singular champion to go with Godseeker, I believe. So that's why he's kind of here and you see him all the time in the comps and stuff. But here we have roughly like maybe like a 2-minute team. One more A3 from Newt and should be good enough. You can kind of see here the A2 is, you know, kind of chewing up a little bit of time here. He doesn't run Giant Slayer on the Newt. The masteries are not done. So, you know, the A1s are just not doing any damage. But here we go, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And that's it. That's 25 done. 2 minutes 25. Not the fastest in terms of turns, but we'll make him a faster team here. Show you guys the champions just in case you guys are interested in the viewers, for the viewers. So 255 Newt, like I said, 232 speed on the DPS, all you need. You want enough damage to crit cap him for the 10% max HP hit. Accuracy, I have him set up for hard Fire Knight, so I'm getting him ready for that. Masteries, he's not even set up for masteries. If you have a blessing, you could take Phantom Touch or Reaper or Brimstone. You can take whatever, it doesn't really matter against a Sand Devil here. Godseeker here, ideally Immortal Regen. You can get away with just Regen, but you need pretty good stats. So 5k defense is what you want to shoot for, and you want to shoot for at least 70,000 HP. 204 speed, there's a range that can work, but I know 204 down to, I believe, 172 can farm or climb from 19 to 24. And then for 25, I think 204 is what you're looking for. 204 up to 210, but there's definitely a wide range. There's a wide range of speeds that can work. It honestly just comes down to when she gets her revive back. So if your team is not working, make sure you watch it and see when the scales line up. If you are having trouble with your setup, what you want to do is basically have a team set up so that, for example, like he's using Ninja here, you could have a team set up so that you prioritize the revive. Like I've heard of people having situations where the revive is not prioritized. So where is his nut here? Here we go, nut. So yeah, so Godseeker, you want to prioritize her revive. So 1, and this one would be 2, because another thing is she has to use her A2 during the phase where she just becomes revived if you don't have Miracle Heal, because you need to recover some of that max HP back. Newt, just take off his A2 so it's a little bit faster. And then this team is perfectly viable for a 2-man plus food. But we're going to break it down and build him another team to speed farm Sand Devil. So we'll be right back with that. All right, so we found a build here that can probably work. Puts him in Swift Parry, takes him out of Relentless. Obviously, in Relentless, it's kind of nice, but he's going to be missing damage to crit cap. So that's kind of why I want to basically max out his damage stats here. So let's do this. We're taking some gear off his Tauros and Magnar, which I think should be okay. 268 with 300 accuracy. We can bump up the accuracy a little bit just to land the TM drop against the Fire Knight, and then we should be okay. 270 crit damage, 268 speeds, perfect. So let's do it. All right, so ready to go. Both newts are ready to go. This one needs the boots fully ascended, so we're gonna do that right now. Fully ascend that. All right, good. So this puts the newt at 266, 268, which is fine. And then we need to bump up the accuracy a little bit on this one. Is there any space to do so? Speed. Uh-oh, might be a little bit tough. Can we upgrade this? I think we have to do it just for the accuracy. Okay, 327. I think that's probably good enough. Fire Knight. Yeah, good. He has plus 16. That's perfect. Okay, so perfect amount of accuracy on both newts. Now we jump into Lady Mikage. Mikage's build doesn't need to be insane, but she needs to be probably better than this. And then we need a secondary attack, ally attack champion. I saw a Lanathril in his box here. So we check out his box here for a second. We need a second ally attack to pair with Mikage. And then we have a Kymar. So we're going to do the double ally attack Kymar double newt Fire Knight hard 10 team. That's the team that I used. It's 100% team. Works perfect. Very consistent. 90-second team. The only tricky part is dealing with the waves and then having basically balancing between kill speed. Basically balancing kill speed. After you can kill the waves and, you know, managing your abilities, then once you get to the boss, it should be clockwork. Where is his second out to Lanathril? Here we go. Make sure he has books. Yes, he has books. Thank goodness. Okay, so Lanathril. Okay, I think we're gonna go all in on speed on Mikage, since he kind of already has like a Mikage built for speed. Well, I mean just speed gear. Let's see what his Mikage is. Actually, who's his fastest champion? Sifi? Okay, let's finish off the Sand Devil team first, since we're already here. So Sifi in whatever speed team is perfectly fine. Whatever speed build she's in is fine. 350 is fine. We're gonna run the two newts with Sifi. Kymar. I saw his Kymar was 260 something, which is good. 264. I'm not gonna touch this. It looks perfectly good. And then he doesn't have Riho Bone Spear. So usually I run Sifi with Riho, Kymar, and two newts. He doesn't have Riho Bone Spear. So the next best is going to be Ramontu. Ramontu, where is he? There's Ramontu. He's in a stone skin build. It's super slow, has high accuracy. We need Ramontu to be at least 270 speed. So that's what we're going to aim for here. 270, maybe with stone skin, and then see what he gets. Okay, this build works perfectly fine. It doesn't touch his Mithrala or anything like that. It's going to take one piece of gear from Drexar and Gaius. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You can fill the gaps later. 274 speed with stone skin. Oh, he needs the ascension on the boots. Double accuracy boots with the max glyph. I mean, definitely worth the ascension. So I'm definitely gonna ascend that one for him. All right, at least he has those. All right, so now we are ready to go. I'm gonna run the presets here and then make the speed team for him. All right, here's the team. Let's see how it runs. Should be pretty quick. Fail rate should depend on Ramontu's decreased defense. I know his newts are not the strongest, but Ramontu should be able to help with decreased defense and weaken. Oh, something went wrong. Okay. I figured it out. The reason why is because Ramontu's multi-hit differs from Riho Bone Spear, because his multi-hit goes 4 hits into the Sand Devil. The Sand Devil can only take 8 hits before he wakes up. So what happened is that the Newt does have Phantom Touch on him. When he was using his A3 to hit, he probably triggered a Phantom Touch a couple times and then woke up the Sand Devil. There's a little bit of a pain here. So we have to just double check something. I believe Giant Slayer also messes things up a little bit in that regards. So Real's Bone Spear is definitely a lot better than Ramontu for this fight. Okay, so I made an adjustment here to the blessing so that Phantom Touch doesn't trigger. I'm not 100% sure whether Giant Slayer triggers or not, but I think we might be okay here. So let's... Alright guys, so I don't want to mess around too much with his Newt, especially since he doesn't have gems to like reset blessings anymore or masteries or anything like that. So I just look for another solution instead of using Ramontu. I know that Ramontu's multi-hit is triggering in combination with the A3 from Newt is triggering him to wake up. So I did find a suitable solution here. Usually Dracomorph is pretty good because he puts the touchless decrease defense and weaken. Venus works here as well since she is void. So I'm going to use Venus for decrease defense and weaken. And then it should work fine. The problem with Venus is that she doesn't land enough debuffs so that the Sand Devil might not be taking full damage from the Newts. But let's see what happens. Sleep, decrease defense, and weaken. Lands both. Okay, perfect. He wakes up and then the slams start coming. This is perfect. Slam, slam, slam. Reset. And slam, slam, slam. And Reaper, not enough. Unfortunately, Reaper was not enough there, but 19 seconds, that's solid and all-time best. So there you go, Tony. Here is your 19-second stage 25 team. If you ever pull Riho Bone Spear, you can bring it down another 5 seconds or something. But yeah, this should be very solid for you. The Newts are perfectly built for other areas of content. I didn't touch your Sifi, I didn't touch your Kymar, I did not even touch the Venus. So I'll show you guys the breakdown on this. I did document this in another video on my channel if you guys are interested in this team. Very popular team, 100% consistent other than the decreased defense failing. So weaken failing, if weaken fails, it still will finish. I think with Venus, it'll probably fail more often because she doesn't land as many debuffs as like Riho Bone Spear. So sometimes with really strong Newts, you can still get through the fight with decreased defense missing. So it's actually higher than 97% win rate. But it's still a very strong win rate and very fast. So just the presets here real quick. Prioritize A3, sleep, and then prioritize A2. Prioritize reset, prioritize decreased defense and weaken. Prioritize A3. All right, let's move on to the Fire Knight. All right, so the biggest problem here for Tony is that his Mikage is only 260 speed. That's not going to cut it against the Fire Knight, especially in 9 and 10. I know for stage 10, the Fire Knight is 250 speed already. You could do a slow speed team with counterattack, basically getting hit first by the Fire Knight and using your counterattack to break his shield. But if you don't have that strategy, then you have to be much faster than the Fire Knight. So here, this team's not going to work against this Fire Knight anymore. So we'll rebuild him a brand new team. We're going to run double ally attack with the Kymar and double Newts. Both the Newts are ready to go in the same build that we use for the Sand Devil. That's one of the things that I had in mind along the way. So we'll make sure that we'll get maximum value from those builds. We got it here to stage 10. So stage 9 was actually quite difficult because the Kyoku's ally protection and all that stuff. We also ran into some issues with overall gear. We just didn't have enough of it. This account is just not that progressed in terms of gear. We kind of saw that when we were going through the box and doing the gear cleanse a little bit. I had to take some gear off the Arbiter to make the Mikage fast enough. So Mikage is the fastest champion on Tony's account right now, and it will make this build work. So Lanathros also needed to be rebuilt a little bit, so I had to rebuild him. Kymar we kept the same, and the two Newts we kept the same from the Sand Devil team, so those work fine. But the Mikage is the biggest change on this account. It took the Arbiter's gear and is now the fastest champion on the roster. Not necessarily a really bad thing because Mikage is just a really good champion as well. It just depends where Tony is using her. But let's jump into this fight. Hopefully it works. I haven't used it yet. A lot of this comes down to AI, how the the characters use their moves during the waves will determine the speed of the clears. After a lot of fine tuning, my run with this exact team, I do use Grand Oak Podrick instead of Lanathro, because Grand Oak Podrick has the 25 speed aura for dungeons, which really helps with just overall gearing. So I do use him, and it takes me about 90 seconds. It's very consistent, 90 seconds. I mean, I've seen it fail once in a while. I have no idea how it fails. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, like 6 resists in a row or something. Maybe on the turn meter drop from the newts, that might do it. But it shouldn't happen. And this run should be very consistent. He should have enough stats on his champions as well to go through this very easily. Let's see how to do against this wave. This wave's a little bit hard because of the Riho Bone Spear with the cleanse. So we do have to kill the Riho Bone Spear, or at least control her somehow before she does cleansing, or at least kill off most of the wave before she can cleanse. Because if she cleanses, then it's going to be tough times. Let's see what happens here. Just about getting ready to go, which is kind of tough. Just about ready to go. We gotta freeze her or something. Come on. Ugh, pain. Yeah, so the kill speed on this, on the champs, are not that strong. Like both newts, for me to reach the speeds that we need for the Sand Devil team, for this team, had to sacrifice a lot of defense. The max HP slams do cap, which means there's enough crit damage, but the defense means they have low defense, which means they have low survivability, and they do low damage with just their A1s and A2s, so it's hard to kill waves. So that's a little bit of a problem here. So we're at 2 minutes already with this team. It's actually way too slow. Yeah, it's way too slow. It's gonna be a 3-minute team just because of the slow clear time on the on this second wave. It's going to come down to how we want to set up the AI, the presets, to make this work faster. So 2:30 to the boss. It's going to be about 3 minutes here, and it should be working. Should work 100% here. So we go double ally attack. The positioning of the newts is important. It has to go at the end of the team. Blessed Bash, a little bit of chip damage going through. Second Blessed Bash, and then the reset comes. And then Mikage should get a turn here. Perfect. There we go. Mikage gets a turn. Lanathra will get a turn. And then the turn meter will be fully dropped. The Blessed Bash will be back. And hopefully we have enough to kill the boss, to be honest. A quick capped. I mean, damage cap. So yeah, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. The Reaper here comes and finishes them off. Honestly, it comes down to the speed of the newts killing off the second wave. So he got a 3-minute clear time on this team. It's seemingly pretty good, seemingly pretty, stable. He wasn't in threat of dying or anything on wave 2. A lot of times, some comps, they run squishier champions and then they risk dying on wave 2. So this team didn't have that issue, but the clear speed was a little bit slow. Like I said, my team runs, half this speed, right? It helps that his Kaimar is crit cap, so he's doing some extra damage here. So I'll show you guys the AI preset that I was using. Like I said, it's going to depend a lot on how he wants to set up the AI so that it performs a little bit better on wave 2. So yeah, I have them both using their ally attacks. I think Lanathro should probably use all his abilities here. So I'm going to save the ally attack on both of them just because you need to have them ready for the boss. So that's the most important one. Prince Kaimar, you need to have the reset ready for the boss, which is the most important thing. Wave 2, you can just do whatever. Wave 1, you can do whatever. The newts is where you want to set up the AIs. So I think there's no point in holding back, because for me, I was usually holding back the A2 on one of my newts so that he can use it on wave 2, because my clear time is a little bit faster. So here, I guess we're just going to try it again. Just going to set to default and then just hold back the Blessed Bash because we need it for the boss fight right away. Can't really risk it not having it up, otherwise the boss fight just won't work. Let's try one more time with this setting. It should be about the same. Accuracy in all battles. Aura is needed because you know, we're a little bit short on the accuracy. Let's see how it goes here. Come on. We can do better in 3 minutes. 3 minutes can be like any team. Not a double newt team with the Kymar. Okay, so 2 Venuses are dead. It's not terrible. Not terrible. Usually, not terrible. Okay. Let's see, come on. Yeah, the attack animations, and then it's a little bit slow. It slows down the run. Especially when you're trying to optimize for like endgame dungeon speeds. Reaper, hey, Reaper did something. Good. The Reaper was actually helpful, right? It killed the boss in the end. That was good. Obviously, we have the Reaper Newt set up to be the slower one so that he gets the last hit so the Reaper can actually do something. Alright, so we go slam, slam, back to back. We have to stop that Riho. That's the thing. How can we stop that Riho? Can we get there? Can we stop her? Kind of nice that we're resisting this. I mean, we didn't build for resistance or anything, but it's kind of nice. Okay, we killed one guy at least. Okay, come on. Freeze the Riho, please. Oh, we got there. Oh, Terminator drop. Oh, we did it. Okay, this run's going to be a lot faster then. Yeah, this run's going to be a lot faster. Get back to the A2. Perfect. Sleep. Oh, perfect. Okay, I mean, it's still slow, but it's significantly faster than the last one. So this one's probably going to shave off about at least 30 seconds. Maybe 40 seconds. This was basically just allowing the newts to use the A2 freely. Because in the first run, I actually restricted the newts A2 because I wanted to save it for the second round. But judging by the kill speed of the team, you can't save the abilities. So yeah. But it looks good. It looks good. It just depends on the speed, right? Looks good. Max hits here. Max hits here. Now, there's a little bit of damage here that's short. That's the problem. But I had the Kymar basically not use his sleep ability against the boss so that he lands the poisons so that the boss dies to poisons. It's a little bit dicey there, but hey, it worked. All right, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, not bad. A lot of it comes down to the kill speed. Once we get to the boss, it's only 35 seconds to kill the boss. So it has to be the kill speed on the waves, but looks pretty good. Happy with this. Let's double check everything is set up for him correctly, and anybody wants to see this. Yeah, Fire Knight Hard 10. It's all set up. You guys want to see the stats one more time? 374. I think 371 is the bottom for Mikage. 275. Lanathra has to be second in the speed, and then the 2 newts. The 2 newts are after, and then Prince Karmar is the slowest. The best thing about this whole team is that it's interchangeable with the Sand Devil team. A lot of the pieces, so the newts and the Kymar are from the Sand Devil team, which is great. All right, so let me rebuild the Theodore for Tony, and I think that's gonna be it. So hopefully, Tony, you enjoyed this takeover. These are massive improvements to your account. We're at Sand Devil 25. We're at a 19-second team. And now we're at Fire Knight Hard 10 with the farming team. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You can definitely improve it with some better gear, better presets. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully the viewers enjoyed it. This is like a real takeover. It's a paid service. And yeah, hopefully Tony's satisfied with the results. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Appreciate you all. Appreciate your time. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Did you guys learn something? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.